Hey, what's up? It's your boy L7. Today I got a very special guest. We're getting back to the local politics, and we got someone on the scene right here.
I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Now, this person actually marched with me in the that bike march for basic income, which was awesome. That's where I met her. She's pretty cool. I'll let her introduce herself, though. What's up? Say what's up to our people and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Selina Gray. I am a city council candidate in the 49th district, which is located on the North Shore of Staten Island. Very unique district, a very diverse district, and I'm proud to be here to talk with you today.
Yeah, that's New York City Council. And just so you know, actually, this year is very, very interesting because actually there's some term limits and this kind of thing, and that actually means that the whole entire majority of the City Council seats will flip. So this is actually something of great interest. Also coming on the tails of the presidential election and all that heightened political activity, we're going to see exactly how this all shakes out. Yeah?
And also the ranked choice voting. The first time we're going to have ranked choice voting. So this is going to be really different. A lot of people are not even going to know how to navigate this. So for people running for the first time, never been involved in politics, we're dealing with COVID, ranked choice voting, and probably absentee ballots, which we haven't even mastered that yet. We don't even know how this is all going. And early voting. So a lot in play.
Okay. Now, I looked up a little bit of your history. I see you do have some experience in activism. You do have some experience in government, things like that. What is your experience?
Well, first of all, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, starting from the beginning. I grew up in the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx. I moved to Staten Island when I got married. I had a financial background. I was in Wall Street. I was an executive in Wall Street, which kind of really helped me to kind of understand the plight of people in my community. That was during the whole Wall Street crisis, foreclosures in homes. I decided I wasn't fulfilled in Wall Street anymore, and I really wanted to do something more personable to my community and to kind of help people that I live around. So I decided, and I got laid off, and I didn't want to go back to that. So I decided to get my own licenses, and that afforded me, and I learned a skill set to kind of help people with budgeting, staying in their homes, and a lot of these people even became my friends to this day. Then I moved forward a little, fast forward a little bit, and I started getting involved in activism in my community, getting involved in clubs. I was on executive board member of the Staten Island African American Political Action Club. I was executive board member there. I was one of the youngest, and that's where I met the current council member who was the president. Then I started running races for progressive women here in Staten Island. I ran Debbie Rose's 2013 and 2017 race. I ran Patricia Kane for assembly race. We didn't lose. We lost that one. But she became the executive director of the New York State Nurses Association. And then I ran Edwina Martin for civil court judge, and we came within 500 votes. That was painful. That kind of led me up to where I am today. And I actually do political community organizing for the New York State Nurses Association. So I have a very strong union background as well.
Yeah, the nurses union is no joke. They're real serious. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they're really, really strong. 42,000 plus.
Awesome. Yes. So the thing is, with that type of background in activism, this channel is basically more for activists. Yeah. I don't know if you saw me going crazy out there, but you could tell it's kind of in my blood. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that, as in terms of like all the activities that you've engaged in, right? What were some of the most productive activities for organizations that you've had experience with?
So definitely when it came to the New York State Nurses Association, we have a social justice component of our organization. So when COVID, when the pandemic hit, we were really concerned about our essential workers, making sure that they weren't put at risk. We have Amazon out here. I don't know if you know about Amazon, that big, almost like it is a warehouse, but those workers are severely underpaid and they're treated such as like slaves. They're not organized, but we marched for them. That was part of that was like, actually, we did a rally, and I said we had to have over 100 cars, and we shut down the streets here in Staten Island.
Are you in contact with Christian Smalls?
I don't know Christian Smalls, but what organization is he with? I'm
I
sorry.
think he was one of the workers actually at the Staten Island plant who actually was trying to organize the workers. He said some of the conditions were unfair, and then they fired him for trying to start a union, and actually that made national news. So
It's the
yeah,
challenge,
it's okay.
the challenge. I don't know him, but I know that Make the Road and CWA were involved in trying to organize them. A lot of other workers are afraid to be organized, and one of the things about organizing and activism, if the people aren't ready, you're not going to be able to do it. They have to come with their wish list, and then you have to be able to help them achieve that, and that's activism 101. And the workers, we're here to support them and whatever we can, but that wasn't successful with organizing them as a union. Then Eric Garner was really with Eric Garner's death, we know that people of color have really suffered under the brutality and mistreatment of the NYPD, especially here in Staten Island. Even though we've had events to really try to bridge that relationship between community and NYPD, there's always something to kind of undermine that. And every time we take 2 steps forward, we take 10 steps back. And that's what Eric Garner was to me. That didn't have to happen. He didn't have to die. And I've been a part of those movements as well, marching across Staten Island, marching from the North Shore to the South Shore, just showing that, we're not going to tolerate this anymore.
Well,
We're not.
I mean, we've been marching since Rodney King. We've been having riots. We've been going crazy. You know what I mean? So honestly, we could say we're not going to take it anymore. But the thing is that, we need to actually go out and make that difference over there. You know what I mean? So I feel you on that. We're going to work on that. And, by you and me not tolerating that kind of thing, we're going to move forward on that issue. So I'm glad to hear that. Now, the thing is that, so like the most effective things that you said was working with these other organizations, right? Because people who are watching this may be inspired by you. They may be watching other, activists as well, say like what works for them. And you said what worked for you, like in terms of the Nurses Association was, I think we started to talk about, other topics, right, which may be relevant, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I also took you off topic talking about Christian Smalls, right, yeah? But once again, right, let's go back to, there's other people who may not have the years of experience you have. Yeah, look, it sounds like you had quite some experience in terms of activism, building up movements, things like that, right? What are the most productive things that other people who have their own organizations, they want to follow in your footsteps? What can they do? How can they build their own movements?
So one of the things, and that is such an amazing question. So thank you for asking that, because we're actually doing that as we speak within the union. One of the things about getting things pushed forward, especially when it comes to legislation, you have to build coalitions, and it's very hard to do a lot of times. So we have to get people to buy into our beliefs. And one of the things that we're trying to do here in the union, if I can talk about that, is getting our members activated so we can show support, because strength in numbers. And a lot of times when we are out there from the corner yelling, no one's listening to us. We're just the lone person on the corner yelling, yeah. But you have to have support. You're going to have people to buy into that. And then you have to have an ask. There has to be a call of action. A lot of times one of the things that I find so frustrating about a lot of the movements or a lot of the rallies that we have, there's never a call to action. At the end of the day, we've yelled, we've marched, then what? What are the next steps? And I think that a lot of times we miss a really golden opportunity because there's no next step. So I would just have to say collaboration and then next steps.
All right.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's you don't even know how much your answer lines up with what's going on my channel right now. Yeah, people who watch my channel know exactly right how actually, relevant her words are to my current situation. What few subscribers I have, but honestly, it's gonna blow up. So this whole storyline is gonna get caught on to. I have some other questions that do directly actually impact this. Let's talk about. A lot of my viewers in different movements, actually also including Yang Gang, I'm sure, are watching this with intense interest. Yeah, that's pretty okay. So that's cool. No pressure, right? Yeah. So the thing is that when you form these coalitions, right, which I agree with you, yeah, we need to form that critical mass. as called by, I think that term was coined by Martin Luther King, some people said, I'm not sure, yeah? But we need that critical mass. Yeah, we need that coalition. But the thing is that when you have that coalition, right, another thing is that, earlier you said people of color, yeah? And a lot of times when we have this conversation about people of color, the interests of Asian American males is completely not regarded at all, or, like dealt with or even cared about, yeah? So the thing is that when you form a coalition, right, sometimes you could call it factions or divisions within the group, right, may have different ideas of where to go. So how can you actually make sure that that their concerns are attended to while still not damaging the overall purpose of the larger group?
So, another great question. And I don't know if you're going to like my answer, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. Every time I was asked to buy into somebody's agenda or buy into, let me take agenda out of it. Every time I was asked to be part of a movement, one of the things that I found very frustrating in my community is that there is always an agenda. People become part of a movement because there's always an agenda. So when you have different communities, different ethnicities coming together, our experiences may be different, but we need to come to the table and talk about what our agenda is. I am joining this because I'm looking to get that. And then you can have a real relationship or a real conversation of everybody buying into that. When you go into a movement or into an agreement without understanding everybody's agenda, I feel that it is a Peachtree dish of garbage. It's never going, we have to all buy into the same thing. We don't always have to, how we get there may differ, but I think our destination has to be similar. If not, that needs to be disclosed in the beginning so feelings are not hurt and we can still have that camaraderie in the end. I may not be able to sign onto your agenda, but I've let you know that in the beginning, and maybe there's something else that we can buy into together. It may not be that one thing, but maybe something else. I hope that kind of makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. That's it's going to be real relevant for a lot of viewers that are watching right now. And, that's really cool, honestly. And the thing is that, we've had actually a conversation in another interview where we said experience does not equal expertise. There's a lot of people out there that are passing that off, but certain people that have good management skills, certain people that have been around the game as high tier organizers, they say the kind of things that you say, Selina. Yeah, they can't really come with that knowledge in that way unless they've rocked and dealt with those particular problems before, because being a boss isn't like, oh, I'm the boss, so I get to do this and this and I get to point all around. Being a boss means you are super aware of the problems of being a boss. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody looks at you, you're the boss, oh, you must have this lush life. No, being a boss is filled with responsibilities.
I don't like the term being a boss. Yeah. I feel like
it really should be a servant for hopefully the best of us. Yeah.
Another great in order for people to follow, I think follow what a buy-in. I wouldn't say follow, but buy into what you're trying to accomplish. You also have to meet people where they are. One of the things that I've learned from running campaigns is if we all want the same thing, if we're all looking to get this one person elected, I have to be able to work with everybody. And anytime I had an office manager part of the campaign, I had to let them know we all have homeless people come in who may want food, who may want to use the facility, but may also be able to give them a job. If you came with the right attitude, or even not, if I was able to bring you in, I feel like it was a win-win for everybody. I don't ever want to turn anybody away who wants help. And that's part of my campaign. I told my campaign manager, if there are homeless people who need money for a day, or if they need to, we are going to help whoever we can, as long as it's transactional, but in a way that it helps them and it helps us as well.
Yeah.
And it's not undermining anything. And I think that if you can lift people up, rising tides, raises all boats. I think that's a good thing. And I think that's what a real leader is, a servant leader.
I like you, Selina. You're pretty cool, yeah? For real. That's kind of like I say a similar thing myself, actually, to tell you the truth. And so actually, that's been a question that's been on the back of my mind. And just so you know, within the Yang Gang, I made a very strong proclamation that I am the one. I make this proclamation in all the groups. Tulsi Gang knows this, yeah? Mm-hmm. I say that I am the one who looks out for those who others cannot find a voice, or others who are normally not heard. So all those factions, the ones who are, traditionally overlooked, yeah, minority classes, of all types, yeah, not just the ones that people come first to mind. Usually the last ones that come to mind, those are the ones who I jump up for first. But that actually, the thing is that you actually come from a Wall Street background. So how does that actually jive, right? I'm sure like a lot of, especially in today's climate, there's a lot of suspicion and anger towards that particular element. So how do you actually jive? And then, but the things that you say, like right now, like in terms of caring for the homeless, things like that, right? Show me the type of leader you are, right? Yeah. And your humanitarian values, which honestly speak to my deepest part of my soul, really. That's what I really want for this world, yeah? Speaking about coalitions building, not just having your vision and telling everybody else to follow. And I think that really, us who have been disenfranchised, us who have been minorities and had to struggle and had to deal with that, right? We understand the importance of these issues, yeah? So, yeah, so I'm like, definitely, frankly, like, what brought you to these perspectives that you have right now? Why do we have the same vision of things?
Now, I know you mentioned my Wall Street background.
And the Wall Street background, yeah.
I want to talk about why that's so important and shaped me, the woman I am today. You have to look. I was a young Black woman on Wall Street. Wall Street, you didn't have people that looked like me, so I had to fight every single day to prove myself, and it wasn't easy. I actually, when I got into middle management, because I never got into upper management, I was a VP. I never was a managing director. I was a VP. I was never treated the same. But the experiences I had made me tough. And I appreciate who I am. I never changed who I was. That's why I didn't last. I still was Selina. I still cared about people. They wanted me not to fraternize with my staff. That's not who I am. Because these are people that you're going to have to lay off or write up. You're going to have to make tough decisions. So they wanted you to not be friends with them. And I that's not who I am. So that's why I didn't last. And that's why I wasn't there. But the skill set that I learned on how to deal with different types of personalities, when people are beating you down, how to always stand up. The financial aspect of my job prepared me for this fiscal crisis that we have today here in New York City. So everything that I've experienced on Wall Street absolutely prepared me for the woman I am today.
I love that so much because oftentimes I feel like there's all these socialists running around. Look, I was a socialist too before, not that I'm promoting it or downgrading it now. But the thing is that there's like a lot of times people to try to find these economic solutions towards social problems. Notice how your company tries to treat everybody like a number. They want everybody to be interchangeable, right? Yeah, you might have to fire this other person, but we'll have this other interchangeable person, right? This modular system. It sounds great from a design aspect, but they completely neglect the humanitarian side of things, making that personal connection, using your emotions and your spirituality to get higher levels of performance, right? Yeah, this is part of the human animal, and they can't just throw it away, but they can't quantify it on a spreadsheet, so they don't get it. But it's very important part of it. So I'm so glad I learned more about you. Originally, when I was learning about this lady, right, the thing is that she said she was from North Shore, and I looked it up, right, because I do a little research on people that I interview. I'm not gonna, honestly, I feel like it's I want to respect my guests, and like, really, and my audience, and make sure that I'm prepared and see what's going on. So I looked up North Shore, the wrong freaking one, yeah? And it's like North Shore, Long Island is the richest community in all of, and I was like, whoa, I got a Hamptons, right? And then so like, to have this little reversal here is actually pretty cool, yeah? My next question is, there's a lot of things that, a lot of, supposed leaders out there, struggle with, yeah? And the thing is that sometimes people get positions because they look good, because they're popular, because they just knew the right people, you know what I mean? And they really struggle to say, what are your accomplishments, yeah? One of the things that I really love to, ask people is, or a warning sign is when people say, oh, I go to so many meetings, I work so hard, I put so many hours in, and then I say, honestly, I don't give a rat's ass, nobody gives a rat's ass when I break my balls, all they care about is what I produce. So in the end, I say, well, what did we get for all that work? You better have something goddamn impressive for all that fucking complaining you've been doing, Yeah, you know what I mean? You're putting a lot of hours. I better see a lot of hours worth of work. I better be fucking floored, or you better just shut up. You know what I mean? So sorry about that. It's kind of funny, but it's true. So look, the thing is, you know, what are some accomplishments that you're most proud of?
So, one of the things that I advocate for are people and children with mental health issues. I Several years ago, I took custody of a loved one as a baby who has autism. One of the things that I had to do and I had to fight for through the Department of Education was to advocate for that relative. Once I went into the system and learned how to advocate, I learned that there was a lot of parents who did not know how to advocate for their children in the Department of Education. And that's still a big problem today. If you look at what the COVID crisis has delivered to our children with IEPs, they had no plan. But one of the things that I could say that I didn't get paid for this, I actually sat with parents with the IEPs, because the parent coordinator that they provide you don't really work for us. They work for the Department of Education. So one of the things I was able to do was to teach parents how to advocate for their children. I took my advocacy for my loved ones as far as I can go when it came to mental health. That means getting neurological examinations. That means finding out places where to get hearing loss, you know, if they had hearing issues not related to loss, but just how the receptors work and how the brain analyzes that. I was able to take my experience, my advocacy for my loved ones, and actually transcend that to other people in the community. Everybody doesn't listen, because when you're a single mom or a single dad and you have all, like, it feels like the world is on your shoulders and you're taking care of a child or a loved one with a disability, it is so hard to play advocate, mommy, daddy, go to work every day. So I'd save the people, and I assisted the people that were able to do it. And I was always open for that, to kind of help anybody with mental health. I'm taking care of my mom who actually has dementia. So that has been part of my advocacy, and anybody that I can help, and that I still do it today.
No, and I like that actually, because the thing is that coming from like the homeless community, you know what I mean? It's like, so I have like, you know, we also like get to see people with mental health issues. So that's so cool, because honestly, dealing with mental health issues, you're going to get exposed to like the medical side of things. I'm sure you saw a whole bunch of different things going on there. You might have had crossover with the homeless community, maybe not, right? But there's the mental health issues. There's some like, you know, like security, and like, you know, the police often, like, you know, because they close the things and these people forced on the street, they often have to engage with police in ways that are non-ideal and not really appropriate, right? There should be a health professional there, not really a police officer. So there's so many different ways that your experience actually, you know, talks, you know, probably interface you with the system in so many different ways. So what a rich experience. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But mental health is not monolithic. There are different reasons why people are homeless. Mental health is one of the reasons.
Yeah. I'm aware.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a good crossover, right? Yeah, and also the stuff you go through on your way to becoming homeless, and also being homeless can also cause their own mental issues. You know what I mean? Yeah, and the way you get treated, yeah, it's crazy. But you know, you make it out. Yeah, it can also make you more resilient. Yeah, these people know that about me. I'm tough as hell. You know what I mean? Tough as hell. Yeah. All right. Yo, so okay, so you're here because. I know you're running for, that's actually how I met you. I know you're running for city council. How many people are running for the same seat as you?
Approximately 8 so far, 8.
Okay. And out of all those candidates, what makes you stand out? Why should people vote for you versus the others?
Because I'm the one that's been in the community for umpteen years, over 10 years, working with the people, meeting them where they are. I am not a candidate who feels entitled to this position. I feel that I'm a servant to the people. I actually have real things that I want to get accomplished. I am being endorsed by the current council member. I didn't get her endorsement based on running her campaigns. I got that I had to win that endorsement. I was not her first choice. She had to look at me, look at the work I've done, see how I interact with people. One of the things, if you don't know Council Member Rose, one of the things that she loves people. She loves community. And that's what she wants. She wants somebody who genuinely loves the community. And out of all the candidates, I am the one that loves this community the most. I've always been behind the scenes, just doing the job, not for accolades, not for brownie points, just because I truly love the community and I want to see us win. I want to see the North Shore win. I want to see the North Shore better than today. I want to move Staten Island forward, and that's my hashtag, moving Staten Island forward.
Okay. Also, were you the only candidate from your district to show up for the Basic Income March?
Yes, I was.
That's cool. Okay. How'd you find out about that?
I reached out to Corey Ortega. There was another candidate from the 49th district that was there before and that relationship fell apart. And Corey reached out to me, and Corey Ortega for New York NYC Coalition, and he wanted to know if I'd be interested. I sat down with Corey. We shared similar values, similar concerns, even though he's in a different district than I am. And he knows Councilmember Rose very well. And he knows the type of woman she is. And we just really, really gelled. I really
Is this a coalition to change what happens in city council?
It's actually a coalition to change what happens in city council. I haven't met everyone in the coalition yet. When I went to the Universal Basic Income March, that's when I met most of the coalition people. So yes, it's to move, to bring a different vibe. It is going to be a different vibe. Whether we change it or not, it's different because you're going to have 30 plus new members. So it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So it's to push.
I really want to make a real strong move on, like, my intention is to really get deeply involved with this race and to really shake things up. And I'm going to be there, and I'm ruthless. Yeah. So
I saw you on your bike. You are ruthless. I loved your energy. You had an amazing energy.
I do. Thank you so much. Yeah. So how can people find out more about you? Honestly, just this, honestly, I wasn't sure what to get here because, you know what I mean? But from this, I'm now excited. I am excited. That's a good sign. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad I got you excited.
No doubt. Yeah. Like, there's honestly, the whole Wall Street thing honestly made me a little bit nervous. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. But the reasons for leaving, right? The thing is that, look, myself too, right? The thing is that I was in business as well, and I was real good, yeah? Right? Actually, like, I told you I've been homeless. That's because that's like when my character was formed. But I've also run several successful businesses as well, too. So I'm ready to get it, you know what I mean? Yeah, because I work harder than anybody because I don't give a damn, you know what I mean? Yeah, so the thing is that what I learned during that time was, you gotta, like, you got to go for all of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love the thing. Also, like, the thing is that I got tired of. I always had a firm belief in myself, like you did yourself, to go into finance. You had to challenge a lot of the structure. Yeah. But the thing is that you have to remember that, despite what I'm sorry, I'm just going on and on and on. Yeah. The thing is.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So we have to remember we just got to stand together and make it happen. Yeah, so the coalition, I'm 100% dedicated to, like, finding out exactly what's going on, getting more involved with city politics, local politics, building the coalition that we need for the next national election. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Yeah, so people want to find out more about your race. How can they get involved with your particular campaign?
You can go to selinagray.com.
Yeah.
Or you can email me at Selina for City Council. That's SELINAGREY for City Council at gmail.com. Or go to my website, Selina, I'll spell it again, SELINAGREY.
It'll all be in the links below. Yeah, we got the card right there.
Yeah. So please, to learn more about me, to donate to my campaign, no money, no message, to actually look at my agenda and just learn more about me and to just even interact with me. I'm willing to talk to anybody about this race and about what I stand for, because I feel and I know that I'm the best candidate for this job. I know that I am, because there's no entitlement. I don't feel entitled. I really want to see the North Shore, must push the North Shore forward. I want to create change here on the North Shore.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah,
so I'll catch up with you. Last question is, what's your plans for the future? You know what I mean? Yeah.
You mean other than city council?
Maybe it's part of city council, right? Maybe you have an election event planned, right? Maybe after you, right? Well, it's hard to tell if you're going to get in or not, right? I think it looks like it. Yeah, having the incumbents, maybe after you get in, or maybe regardless. Yeah, maybe you're starting a community organization.
Well,
right? What is going on? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, when I get into city council, I'm going to answer that question. Like, there are two things that I really, really want to get done, and I'm just going to answer that when in city council. There's a domestic workers bill that probably won't get passed during the session. I want to see that to fruition, making sure that domestic workers who work for, like nannies or housekeepers, usually immigrant workers, are suffer from the abuse of their workers, not getting paid, not getting, medical care. So there's a domestic workers bill currently in city council that probably won't come up for a vote. I'm going to make sure that the domestic workers bill gets pushed through city council. And for the North Shore of Staten Island, we have a waterfront that is developed, but still needs a lot of development. But what happens due to bureaucracy, a lot of the work on the waterfront never comes to fruition. If we want to see a park, if you want to see a school on the waterfront, we got to talk to transportation, we got to talk to the mayor's office. So we want to make that a standalone committee. We want a waterfront standalone committee, its own agency. So when we want to get things done, we don't have to wait for 50 other agencies to get it done. The North Shore of Staten Island is a waterfront community.
Do you have relationships with other waterfront communities near you?
Yes. Oh my God, Khalil Anderson, who I absolutely love, in the Rockaways. He's going to be the next assemblyman. Donovan Richards, who has the Rockaways is very similar to the North Shore of Staten Island. I love what they did for dignified housing out there, dignified, affordable housing that's realistic to the people that live in that community. And that's what I want to see here on the North Shore.
One definition of politics is knowing who to talk to get the job done. So
yes.
I think there's a lot of definitions that are relevant, but in terms of getting that, it seems like you have that handled. That's pretty cool. Yeah? All right.
Thank you.
Actually, I do remember what I want to say earlier. The thing is that, right, the Wall Street connection thing, right? Yeah. The thing is that, look, I also left business because I got tired of it being a zero-sum game. I realized that I was someone, right, who had a high ability, but I didn't really care about being rich, right? I was homeless and I had money, right? I had owned several businesses. I was dropping 30 G's a quarter buying product, reselling it, So what? So what? Helping my fellow man so I could see from, right, the way that you said you didn't last in the Wall Street game for the right reasons, by the way, okay, I was listening because I pay attention, all right, I meet a lot of people who come into this game from different aspects, right, but then notice that you was able to stick around in the activism game. That's what I'm talking about. You're one of us. That's what I love. That's what's up, we're going to be hanging out, plus we're from New York City, we've been doing some business real soon, yeah?
Thank you. I really appreciate your energy. I appreciate you having me on tonight. It's been my honor. It's been a blessing. I really, really thank you.
Thank you.
It's a dark day in our nation when high-level authorities will seek to use every method to silence dissent. The truth must be told.
And if you want the truth, you need to check out independent media producers just like myself, DJ L7. You should subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I release a new video.
Truth of these
we
words
are on all
is
the major
beyond
platforms.
doubt.
That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Unfortunately, we have definitely seen that these mainstream outlets will cave to corporate interests, so we encourage you to join our independently moderated communities of Reddit and Discord. We also encourage you to subscribe to us on BitChute and Daily Motion so you can see the content that YouTube doesn't want us to let you see. Hey, now it's time for the most important part of the video. That's right. It's time for us to tell you about the Taking Action Group. Do you need an activist? Or maybe there's no activists around willing to help you with your cause and you need to learn to become an activist. That's exactly why we're here. Every week we get up with people from across the nation, in fact even sometimes internationally, and we develop strategies and a game plan to address the issues that are affecting all of us. Every week myself from New York City and of course my co-host Lisa from Los Angeles provide a coast-to-coast perspective on what's going on in the country. If you want to donate to help out with expenses, travel, equipment, stuff like that, then I definitely appreciate it, and you can hit us off at Venmo or PayPal. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, we also have a merch store, so check it out. Oh my goodness, it seems like you've reached the end of the video, so make sure you check out some of our other videos, make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so thanks a lot, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below if you have any questions or issues you'd like me to address. And if you're an activist, the time to make things happen is now.